Los Angeles has always been a city of dreams. But on the morning of January 15th, 1947, those dreams shattered in the most horrifying way. A passing woman paused, thinking she'd spotted a discarded mannequin in a vacant lot on Norton Avenue. But it wasn't a mannequin, it was the body of a young woman, posed, mutilated, and displayed with a level of cruelty the city had never seen. Who killed Elizabeth Short? And why? After almost 8 decades, does her murder still feel like Hollywood's darkest legend? Before she was known to the world as the Black Dahlia, Elizabeth Short was just 22 years old, a hopeful, blue-eyed girl from Massachusetts chasing the Hollywood dream. She wanted to act, to be seen, to live a life bigger than the one she came from. But in Hollywood, dreams rarely match reality. Elizabeth bounced between jobs, friendships, cheap apartments, and failed relationships. And in January 1947, she simply vanished. On the evening of January 9th, Elizabeth was last seen leaving the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses said she looked nervous, as if waiting for someone who never arrived for 6 days. Nothing. Her friends didn't know where she went. Her family didn't hear from her. Hollywood didn't notice her absence. But on the 7th day, the entire country would learn her name. At around 10 a.m. on January 15th, a woman walking with her young daughter spotted something strange in a vacant lot. The body of Elizabeth Short lay perfectly cut into 2 halves, drained of blood. With not a single drop on the ground, her face had been slashed from ear to ear in a grotesque smile. The precision was surgical. The posing was deliberate. The message, chilling. Reporters swarmed the scene before detectives could even secure it. The press turned Elizabeth into instant national news, inventing the nickname the Black Dahlia, inspired by a noir film in theaters at the time. But behind the headlines, the investigation was already falling apart. Detectives learned that Elizabeth had spent her final months drifting through Los Angeles nightlife. She was charming, gentle, and trusting, perhaps too trusting. She lived off friendships, favors, and small acts of kindness from strangers. Dozens of men claimed to know her. Some said they dated her. Others insisted she owed them something. Every one of them became a suspect. The investigation ballooned into a circus. More than 150 people confessed, including drunks, criminals, and even people who had never been to California. The real clues, the ones that mattered, were fading fast. Police believed the killer was extremely organized. The mutilation was clean, controlled, and likely performed somewhere else Elizabeth's body had been washed. Her hair styled, her wounds symmetrical. The killer wanted the world to see their work. But who had the skill to do it? Some investigators pointed to Dr. George Hodel, a wealthy physician rumored to have a dark fascination with torture. His mansion in the Hollywood Hills contained secret rooms and strange equipment. His own son would later claim he heard his father say, "They'll never be able to prove I killed the Black Dahlia." But no charges were ever filed. Others suspected Mark Hansen, the nightclub owner who often let Elizabeth stay in his house. He was powerful, connected, and controlling. Some believe she rejected his advances, and he made her pay the ultimate price. There was Leslie Dillon, a bellhop obsessed with psychopathic crime. He wrote to police with unsettling knowledge, but his confession didn't hold. And then there were the copycat theories, that Elizabeth's killer wanted to mimic the gruesome crimes seen in Hollywood films. Los Angeles was filled with dreamers and shadows, and no one could tell who was acting for decades. Files disappeared, clues were buried, and witnesses died. The case became the most famous unsolved murder in Hollywood history, not because it was complex, but because it was so perfectly staged, a performance without an ending. But then, something changed. In the early 2000s, a retired LAPD detective, Hodel's own son Steve, reopened his father's past. He found photographs of a woman resembling Elizabeth, a secret room in the family mansion, and audio surveillance tapes where George Hodel hinted at violent crimes. He even uncovered evidence that the doctor had medical training, connections to corrupt officials, and possible ties to other unsolved murders. To many, it felt like the truth was finally within reach. But because the evidence was decades old, contaminated, or circumstantial, the case never moved forward. And so, after 77 years, Elizabeth Short's murder remains unsolved. A haunting portrait of a young woman whose life ended in unthinkable tragedy in a city that failed to protect her. But maybe the real tragedy isn't just the brutality of the crime. It's the way Hollywood turned a victim into a spectacle, a person into a headline, a dreamer into a legend she never asked to be. For the younger generation, her story carries a lesson that echoes through time. Trust your intuition, protect your boundaries, and understand that not all smiles are kind, not all promises are true, and not everyone who walks beside you wants the best for you. Real danger rarely looks like danger at first glance. Elizabeth Short deserved more than what happened to her. She deserved justice. She deserved her dream. And until the truth is known, her story will remain a shadow on Hollywood's golden sidewalks. This is Crimes of the Century. And this story isn't finished yet.